everybody! Welcome aboard Roll for Boarding. I'm Monica, and this channel is all about helping you level up your cruise game, from packing to port days and everything in between. In the first video, I want to share why we're starting this channel, as well as what you can expect around here going forward. And we're also going to get into the cruise we chose for our very first voyage. So whether you're brand new to cruising, if you're even a veteran, or you're just curious about cruising, I really hope this becomes your go-to quest log for fun, helpful travel tips. So let's start with the big question. Why a cruise channel? I took a Carnival cruise in the late 2000s and never really got back. I think it was one of those situations where we booked it on Expedia and, we really didn't do... We were complete noobs at that point, and we just got through the cruise. So it wasn't really something where we really at that point did our homework, and we don't have as many resources, of course, to do that as there are out there today. Now, I've always loved traveling to new places and really wanted to get back into traveling for years, but the timing was never right. Between the planning, there's a lot of cost involved, and sometimes when you don't exactly know where to start, it can always feel just a bit on the overwhelming side. But at the same point, we're not alone out there in doing journeys like this. So if you're here and you're thinking about booking a cruise, you're definitely not the only person. What finally pushed us to really see how much great content is out there, and we realized that, a lot of it is from cruise veterans, and that's for a very, important reason. They've done this a lot more than we have, and they have some great tips out there. So I've been sitting around absorbing a lot of that, and there is a lot of wonderful content. One area that I feel like lacks a little bit is content geared towards families. We have a young elementary age son, so we want to make sure that our content, one, is relevant for almost everybody. We want to be able to reach a broad number of people, but we also want families to feel like they can come here and know that they're going to get information that's really going to help make their cruise better. This is meant to be a fun and informative and community-driven space where you can come along with us as, we learn a lot of these things firsthand, ask questions that you might be thinking about, and, we're here to make some memories along all of this. So what can you expect here on Roll for Boarding? This channel is all about helping new and aspiring cruisers, at least starting out, people just like us. We're going to be talking about the planning process from start to finish. We'll talk about airfare, hotel, as far as getting to the port, packing lists, excursions, embarkation, and also cruise hacks and things that we learn along the way. So for the big reveal, what cruise did we choose for our first ever sailing? Our very first adventure is going to come on Royal Caribbean's brand new mega ship, Star of the Seas, over Thanksgiving. Now, while everybody's situation is certainly going to differ, and that will factor into the types of voyages that you choose, I want to talk about the considerations that we went through when we were deciding to book this cruise. First off, we are cruising on a budget. We both had their 2 full-time jobs and a child involved, so limited money, limited time, like a lot of people. We really have kind of school breaks to work with, and if you have more flexibility in your schedule, you are automatically going to be able to find much cheaper cruise fares available to you. We looked at winter break for this and found that that was about $1,000 more expensive than going over Thanksgiving, so we decided to do that to help keep costs down as well. We're going to be in an interior room, so no balcony on this go around. There are a lot of family friendly cruise lines out there. You've got Royal Caribbean, you also have Carnival and Norwegian and Disney, of course. And we did choose Royal Caribbean partly because of that family friendly nature and all of the activities that they have on board the ships. Because for those parents out there right now, as we all know, no one on this trip is going to be happy if the kids are not happy. And Royal Caribbean has a really excellent kids program with Adventure Ocean and a lot of other activities on board, especially with their bigger Oasis and Icon class ships that are going to help keep the kids engaged. Star of the Seas, being the newest ship, it's setting sail just next month, is going to cost more than a sailing on one of the older vessels, but it's the level of entertainment on these types of ships is nearly unmatched. I too am a very, what I like to call an active traveler, and what I mean by this is I'm not one of those people that spend all day with an umbrella and a beach chair and a book. Can I sit on the beach and do this? Sure, but when I go to the beach, I'm the first person in the water. So I'd rather be on a ship where there's a lot of various activities to do, not just for kids, but for adults, and things that parents can do with their kids and make those memories together. The aqua theater shows are something that I'm particularly interested in, again, because I really like water-based activities. So I can't wait to enjoy some of those. They also have the ice skating shows and the main theater Broadway shows, which I know are a really big hit with a lot of cruisers. Another consideration that we had was proximity. We are from Florida, and while a lot of cruise travelers are ultimately going to need to fly to their cruise port, we do have the option to drive to Port Canaveral, which is going to be the home port for Star of the Seas, and save that cost of airfare, because unless you live right at a major airport, flying can be extremely expensive. So that's one way to help keep budget into account. Now, we do plan that we're going to have future cruises where flying is going to be the name of the game. So when we get to that point, we're definitely going to be helping everyone out on this channel. But starting out, we really thought it was a wise choice, and it was also really the best fit for the time schedule that we had, since this is going to be a 7-day itinerary. Speaking of itinerary, this is going to be a Western Caribbean cruise with stops at Coco Cay, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Roatan. Now, honestly, for me, I would have personally preferred an Eastern Caribbean itinerary, because the very first Carnival cruise I went on was Western Caribbean. So I really kind of wanted to go on something that was completely new to me, because I've been to Cozumel and I've been to Roatan before, but the rest of my family has been to absolutely none of these places. So it's going to be completely new to them. So it's not really that big of a deal for us on the itinerary this time around. Because our number one priority with this cruise was, I wanted to make sure, especially for those in my family that have not been, that it was going to be epic and as memorable as possible as we embark on cruising journeys. This was especially important, keeping our family in mind, and we're going to be doing this with a little bit of extra fun. We're a gamer family. We love adventure, and we're excited to also turn this into something that's going to prove helpful for others. What we really hope is going to set this channel apart, and we're going to be learning as we go, and that's going to be the big difference. Everybody here watching these videos, you're going to be taking this journey right along with us from start to finish, and this is really coming from a genuine place of curiosity and excitement, and a lot of extra research on my part to try and help and make sure that this goes as smoothly as possible. Because we're not cruise experts, not yet, but we're detail oriented, travel loving, and we're focused on building a space that's welcoming and helpful and fun for everyone. I know we say we, mostly it's going to be me, but there's also going to be input coming from the perspectives of the rest of my adventuring party, because my family's always going to be with me. So think of us as your fellow party members on this big cruise quest. We're going to be sharing XP, celebrating those critical hits, and quite possibly making a few new mistakes that we can tell you about, and hopefully you won't be making on your cruise. And that's okay, because even with the mistakes, you're still getting XP, so you do it right the next time. And if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and join our crew. In our next video, we're going to start diving into cruise prep. We're going to get into the booking, the packing, the shore excursions, which is going to be a big thing, and other things that we can't wait to do. If you've got any first cruise tips you want to share, questions that you may have that I can take into account for other upcoming videos, please drop those in the comments. I really want to hear from everyone. And until then, thanks for watching Roll for Boarding. Your adventure is just beginning.